Hi, this is Lori Johnson with Hancock Whitney Bank, and you're listening to Local Leaders, the podcast. Visit localleadersthepodcast.com for previous episodes or for information on appearing on the show.
Hey everyone, it's Jim Chapman with Local Leaders, the podcast, and I want to make you aware of a fantastic deal they have going on right now at Fit Body Boot Camp in Denham Springs, Louisiana. If you go to the link getfitdenhamsprings.com/local leaders, you can get $30 off of the regular price of $129 for 30 days of classes. Go to the link, click it, sign up. 30-day classes for only $99 through that link. It's a special deal offered to all of our listeners at Local Leaders, the podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Local Leaders, the podcast. And we are here with our fifth and final recipient of the Leading Ladies Award for 2022, and that is Miss Heather Dugas. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm excited. We talked before this, and I thought I had such you had such an interesting perspective that you could bring to the table, and that is that you have some military service behind you. Very intriguing. Of course, you were in the Navy. Go Navy. Beat Army.
Yes.
I love the Navy. Got a long family history myself in the Navy, so this one really appealed to me. So I want to jump kind of right into that, and I guess my first question would be, did you go into the Navy straight out of high school?
I did not. So after high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't have a whole lot of confidence. One thing I knew was that I could cook.
Yes.
Specifically I could bake. And so I went to Louisiana Culinary Institute, and I graduated there. I applied at some different restaurants, and one restaurant in particular was like, we don't think she can handle this, because I was very shy. That's something I'm still kind of working on. And I just kind of kicked me in the butt, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't handle it.
You don't like being told that, do you?
And so I joined the Navy. I always kind of had that thought. My brother was Marines.
Yes.
He was infantry Marine. And that kind of sparked it, but I always just kind of, pushed it behind. But then after that, I was like,
so you just contacted a recruiter and said, I'd be interested in joining. Yep. And did you have a discussion with family, or was it something that you just kind of had your mind made up on?
I talked about it to them, of course.
Yeah.
And then I think it was my dad's birthday or something, I wrapped up a Navy flag.
Oh, that's cute.
And I had him open it, and that's how I told him that I officially signed the papers.
Oh,
so
that's a great idea. Yeah. I love it. So off you go. You're in the Navy, right? You show up, and I did a little research before this episode because I was curious to know how many women versus men were in the Navy. It was from a couple of years ago, but I'm sure this is still, somewhat accurate. Believe it or not, 5-1 men versus women in the Navy. So 200 enlisted, only 40,000 are female. That's that is a wide margin, but not really surprising.
It really isn't.
Yeah. So I guess my first question for you on that front would be, how was your experience as a female going into the Navy, being surrounded by, a bunch of guys for the most part, and having to, I would imagine you would have kind of I have to prove myself attitude, in a way to kind of show that you could do what the men could do.
I really didn't, honestly. Yeah. And I think that's surprising because a lot of women do go through that. I was always raised around guys. I have two older brothers. Their friends were always, at the house. I didn't have that many friends. So I had a few girlfriends, but that was it. So I was always around guys. And then I worked in a kitchen, and the restaurant industry is mostly guys.
Yeah.
So I was kind of already in that environment. So when I went in, it wasn't a huge shock to me.
Yeah.
And my guys ended up being, some of them were like my little brothers that I never wanted now.
Right.
But, I just kind of eventually by the end I was like mama bear to them, because my division, it was me and one other female for the most part of it. And then one more joined before I left. So it was all guys.
Gotcha.
But I really enjoyed it though, because like I said, I was very mama bearish, with them.
Yeah, and that's very good, and I'm glad people can hear that, because there may be someone out there right now listening that is considering joining the service, and maybe it's a female, and maybe they're nervous about it because they're a female and they feel like they won't fit in. So you say you'll fit in, go for it.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they need to be afraid at all. It might be a little nerve-wracking or stuff like that, but not only was I able to kind of form that bond with my guys, my guy cooks. The women are so tight most of the time. Of course, you got opposite sides going on, but different personalities. Sure. But like you said, the ratio is so different, and you can see that if you ever go on a naval ship, how many guys there are and how many girls there are.
Yeah.
So everybody knows everybody. I think there was 350 people on my ship.
Wow.
And there wasn't that many females, so you kind of have that bond as well. So if you're somebody who maybe is like a little nervous with the guy, how many guys there are, you're going to form tight bonds with these females.
100%. And, like you mentioned, you grew up with brothers, so you were used to slapping guys in the back of the head when you had to, that kind of thing. So that's always an advantage for sure. Now, so not only did you enlist through your 4-year commitment, you kind of rose through the ranks. You went from an E1 to an E5. What MOS did you have?
I was a culinary specialist.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I took my cooking degree and I put it to use in the Navy.
Very good. Mm-hmm. And that made a lot of naval people happy, because they had an expert up in there cooking and baking for them and all those sorts of things. Very good. Now, as we discussed earlier, there are there's a wide gap between the men and women in the military, and you obviously had a good experience. And like you say, that might be surprising, because I was expecting the other way around. So we do want to impress that women don't hesitate to join the service if that's where you feel like you want to go. And look, there's a lot of advantages to it. You can get your college paid for, right? That's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, college, you leave college with no debt. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. So there's some people that enlist, they love it so much they end up retiring in it. And when you retire in the service, it's, you're young. Right. And you can actually end up with 2 retirements. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of guys that are close to that. So look into that. Would you highly recommend the service for someone that feels like that's where they need to be?
I would. I've kind of started living with, I don't want to look back and say, what if?
Yeah.
My mother wanted to join the Navy. She's a nurse and stuff like that, but she just couldn't, it was,
right.
That
was a different time.
It was a different
too.
time,
Yes.
I think my mama would have had a stroke if she would have. But I know that's something that she kind of looks back and like, oh, I wonder, what if, what happened? And so finally I was just like, I don't want to look back and say, well, what if I would have joined the Navy? What would happen?
Yes.
If you feel like that's your way, then go. It's 4 years.
Yeah.
You can get out after that.
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. Very good. And, there's other things in the service that you get as kind of a side benefit to just being in the service. And one of those is you build leadership skills. You learn to work with others. Mm-hmm. You learn to complete tasks. Some people have a problem. They have great ideas. They start tasks, but they don't see them through. Well, any branch of service, that's one of the things that they really highlight and push is, hey, this is our mission and we're going to do it. And so the Navy or any branch of service would help you with that. But how beneficial would you say your building your leadership skills has been from being in the service?
Oh man, I mean, I'm a totally different person, honestly. Before I joined the Navy, I was shy, had no confidence at all. I went in the Navy, still that shy person and stuff like that. And then I got into kind of little leadership roles, like I was in charge of the galley, making sure the meals were put out and things like that, and making sure the guys stayed on task. And I felt like whenever I first got that position, I had to I did have to prove myself because, they knew me as, CS, 3 Dugas or something like that there was their friend and very quiet and they didn't really have to listen to. Yeah. And then I had to prove myself. If I would have just kept staying in my little box, and not stepping up to the plate, I would have gotten ran over, and that did not happen.
Yeah, so. Yeah. You ain't gonna let that happen.
No.
Yeah, so very good. Hey, y'all. After Hurricane Ida, I called one company to look at my patio cover, and that was Dreamscape Construction. Dreamscape Construction makes home improvements easy so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying your outdoor space. Avoid the mistakes of hiring inexperienced and uninsured contractors to work on your home. Dreamscape Construction stands by all products and installation, and upon completion, every job is personally inspected by the owner, and I like that. Dreamscape Construction's cleanup guarantee means no scrap or mess will be left behind. That includes any removal of existing structures to be repaired. All material remnants will be hauled away upon completion at no expense to the homeowner. Gutters on your home help prevent land erosion and foundation issues. Insulated patio covers can even reduce patio heat by more than 20 degrees, and screen enclosures can help keep your unwanted pest out of your relaxation areas. Dreamscape Construction specializes in 6-inch seamless gutters, insulated patio covers, and screen enclosures. They are licensed and insured with 20 years of gutter and patio installation experience. Call 225-445-2744 or visit them on the web at dreamscapebr.com. That's DREAMSCAPEBR.com to schedule a free quote today. Dreamscape Construction, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders. And your confidence, as you mentioned, helped you build your confidence.
Yes.
Anytime that you can work with others to accomplish a task and then it gets accomplished, that's a confidence builder,
Mm-hmm.
And then you do things in the service that you never thought you could do sometimes. And it's like, wow, I don't really have the limits I thought I had.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty awesome. As we mentioned earlier, you also excelled in your ranking during your service years. You served 4 years.
Right.
At one point, you received a Naval Achievement Medal, even. Go you. So tell us about that.
So, I made my way through the ranks. You have to take a test, and if you do good on that test, and if they have some spots for you, then maybe you'll rank up, maybe you won't. So I did make my way to Petty Officer 2nd Class, and I got to do a lot of cool things, which I think helped me get the nom. I got to bake cakes we were in India. I got to bake cakes they invited some important people onto the ship, and I baked the cake for that, and then we had a change of command ceremony, and they got to cut it with the saber, which was so cool.
Oh, that is cool.
I was like, I never want to cut a cake with a knife again.
Yeah.
So all that kind of stuff, and when we had inspectors come on board, they were like, Dugas, you need to start baking some stuff. I'm like, all right, I got you.
I don't blame them. I'm hungry already. That sounds fantastic. So congratulations for that. Now, in 2021, you also had kind of a big thing happen. You were crowned Miss Veteran America second runner-up.
Yeah.
I want you to take us kind of through the process of being chosen and then what the mission of Miss Veteran America is.
Well, so my mom's friend actually tagged me in I never heard of Miss Veteran America before this, so she tagged me in it. And getting out, I kind of missed the connection with veterans and stuff like that. All my military friends, they're, somewhere else. They're not here. And so I was looking to make some friends, fill that void again. And I also was at the point where I was like, I want to do something. I want to give back.
Yes.
So it kind of two birds with one stone deal with that. So I applied, they accepted me, and then from there up until the semifinals, we had to raise money and advocate for homeless women veterans, because all of this is all for Final Salute, which is a organization that helps our homeless women veterans get transitional housing and childcare, even I love this part, financial education, so they teach them how to stay within budgets and things like that. So I was raising money for that. And, if you do well enough, you get to the finals, and then that's the fun part. You get to put on the pretty dress and see all these beautiful military women. Yeah. And then you get to do the lip sync and all that stuff. So that's fun. And after that, second runner up.
Wow.
Not too shabby.
Wow. Not too shabby at all. And you mentioned, it really speaks to me that you mentioned what Miss Veteran America does outside of just, honoring someone with the title. And that is, there's a lot of community service behind that particular crown and that particular organization. For me personally, I think PTSD is a huge problem in the military in general.
Definitely.
For people that have never experienced that, it's a real thing. Mm-hmm. Think about this, folks, and I know there's a lot of people out there that experienced the flood of 2016 here. Mm-hmm. You got PTSD from that. A lot of people did. I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. Every time it rains, I get nervous. Imagine being in a war zone, being shot at, seeing people get killed. This is real stuff. It happens all the time. And those folks really need help. And some of them seek it out. Some of them, one of the not problems with our military, but a lot of our military are very proud and they don't want to admit they have an issue like that. And before they discover it, sometimes it's too late. Mm-hmm. Suicide is a big problem with mental health in the military, and a lot of it is what they experienced, what they saw, right? Mm-hmm. So it's organizations like Miss Veteran America that really bring awareness to all kinds of issues. Homeless female veterans, it's, it makes me want to throw up.
And it's not something you think about.
Right.
As a female veteran, I kind of felt bad because I didn't, whenever I thought of homeless veterans, you close your eyes, you kind of think of an older man. That's where my mind went, at least.
Yes.
So I didn't even think of the fact that these women, some of them are moms. Well, some of the housing for veterans, they don't take children. They don't have the finances, So what are these moms supposed to do with these kids? These kids who have just, also went through 4 years or however many years of service of their mom leaving for a while, they've been through enough.
Yes.
They should at least have a resource whenever times are hard they can go to.
100%. And you are a fantastic role model for Miss Veteran America, because I can see your passion in it. You believe in it. It's not just a public service announcement to you, right?
Right.
You got a heart for it.
I do.
That's huge. And your heart extends even beyond that. Through your role with Miss Veteran America, you've been involved in numerous community programs. One of them being working, such as working to raise funding for homeless female vets, as we discussed, but also Pick Up Please. Right. Tell me about that.
That's just a little organization. We clean out, we don't, but you can clean out your house. We all have a bunch of stuff. A bunch of people were cleaning out their house during lockdown and all that.
Yeah, good point.
You put it on the porch. You look them up, Pick Up Please, whatever. You schedule an appointment. They come They pick it. You don't even know that they're there. They
Yeah.
come, they pick it up, and what they do is it's for Vietnam veterans.
Yes.
So they take the stuff and they sell it or donate it or whatever, and those funds go to help those Vietnam veterans.
Beautiful.
So I'm always pushing them. If you got stuff in your house you need to get rid of, don't just throw it away or whatever. Get an appointment with them, have them come pick it up, take it off your hands, and then you're also helping people. So
that's huge. And a big issue with a lot of people, they have nice stuff they don't want anymore, but they don't really feel like they're not going to throw it away because nobody wants to throw away something that's still good. So they always have that plan that I'm going to give it to somebody who wants it. Hey, here's a program. You can stack that stuff by the door and somebody that wants it will get it, or the funding from that will go to a beautiful organization there. So very good. Hey, y'all. There is nothing worse than paying more for your mortgage than you have to. When I needed a mortgage loan, I called the local mortgage experts at Home Key Mortgage. Not only did I receive the best interest rate possible, but the service was impeccable, making the entire process quick and easy. Already have a mortgage? No problem. The experts at Home Key Mortgage offer refinance options to fit any budget. Located in both Hammond and Denham Springs, Home Key Mortgage is convenient to my area and local, and I love that. For more information, visit them on the web at homekeymtg.com. That's HOMEKEYMTG.com. You also did a lot of, numerous projects after Hurricane Ida to help people rebuild and things of that nature. So you really have a service heart, and it's evidenced by just your Navy experience alone would have been enough, right? Your commitment there. That's 4 years of commitment to the service. And, nobody's a millionaire in the service, right? So you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the love of serving your country. And so I do want to thank you for that. It's really a huge thing. Now, you also have done some public speaking. We spoke earlier and you had said, hey, before I was in the Navy, I was shy. I'm still kind of working on some things with that. But yet you're out there and you're speaking in front of Kiwanis clubs and
trying.
yeah. I mean, that's an impressive thing. My wife, very similar to you. And now, if you know Wendy and you're a friend of Wendy's, she ain't got a shy bone in her body, right?
Her, yeah, she's so sweet.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, she hates speaking in front of people. One of the things she did to overcome that was at church. She would get up and she would be a reader. And definitely afraid of that. I mean, you got 2,000 people now staring at you and you're reading and you're like, if I say something wrong, everybody's going to, all those paranoid things. But it helped her overcome that. So she basically forced herself into an uncomfortable position to overcome that fear. And it worked for her. She still hates it, but she'll do it. Right. And that's really the key. You spoke at the Kiwanis Club. You spoke at the Watson Cook-Off, the big, that's a big deal every year here. So, and you also served as Grand Marshal for the Denham Springs Christmas Parade.
That was really fun.
Yeah. Enjoyed that experience.
I did. I'd never been in a parade, so that was really cool.
And you were the focal point, so
that's a little bit easier, everybody just wants beats, so you're just throwing
right.
You don't have to say anything.
You keep going, you don't have to sit there and stare. Yeah, so congratulations for all that. Very well earned. And I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, how important is it to serve in your community?
I think it's so important. It just makes things better, right? I mean, why wouldn't you want to make your home where you live better? And I'm a person, everybody's like, oh, you're so giving or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just kind of like a fixer. I don't like seeing people sad. And I'm just kind of like, I want to fix it. Like, stop being sad, so definitely do that. And you meet amazing people.
Yes.
And that's awesome too, because it's so good to have, when you're running into issues, you be able to call this person or whatever. And it's just like, it makes you feel more connected to your home.
Yeah.
Before I did all this, I was like, oh, I live in Denham Springs, whatever. Didn't really have a thought of it. But now it's really cool. I'm seeing all the events. I go to them. The STEM Expo they just had,
Yes.
I went there.
I was
and
there
it's
too.
just cool to watch it grow because they didn't have all that kind of stuff whenever I was younger.
No.
So being a part of making Denham Springs and Livingston grow is a really cool thing.
It really is, and we're lucky to have you. I will tell you, for me, and I'm a little bit older than you, probably a lot older than you, but for me, I didn't learn that lesson till much later than you. I was always gave it my church. I did all the things you're expected to do as just a person in society. Wasn't a bad person, but the extra was where I wasn't doing as much. And I'll never forget. There's the guy that invented Apple, Steve Jobs. So he passed away, and I read an article where on his deathbed, he made a statement, and he said, he knew he was dying within like an hour or whatever. And he basically said, I'm laying here and I'm the richest man on earth. And he was, and none of it matters. He said if there's one thing I can tell people out there is spend your time with your family, spend your time, giving back and all those sorts of things. And it was, I'm not trying to depress anybody out there, but it was almost a depressing article. But at the same time, it kind of changed my perspective. And I started thinking, if that were me, am I doing enough outside of myself? And I felt like I wasn't. And that's what really jump started me into my community. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can outside of myself because it's important. And through that, the love comes, and the love for your community comes. Right. And the next thing you know, it's kind of like, don't talk about Denham Springs or, and all those sorts of things. And this heart just develops. And so I'm very happy that you figured that out much earlier than me.
Well, that's what, Miss Veteran America kind of pushed me into that because, that was right kind of after lockdown, and, we were still kind of recuperating, businesses were recuperating, and part of my fundraising stuff, I said it from the beginning, I'm like, if I'm going to have fundraiser events, I want to do things through local small businesses.
Yes.
And so I'm like, that way I'm kind of helping two things at once. I'm helping my community, and I'm also helping homeless women veterans. And I think that kind of jump-started everything.
100%. And I love them local businesses right here.
Me too.
You know that. So, yes, you're 100% right on that. And so just when you thought it couldn't be any better, you do even more. You are an employee at Fit Body Boot Camp, Denham Springs. And I guess my first thing here is describe what type of fitness Fit Body Boot Camp is. What is it versus like a regular gym?
Well, it's amazing because it's a 30-minute workout.
Yeah.
So it kind of cuts that excuse that we have, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You don't have 30 minutes?
I know. I give that excuse all the time,
yeah,
and I'm lying.
And it's a group setting, it's a group class, and it's an awesome workout. It's always changing, so that's another excuse, that boredom excuse. You're never going to be bored walking in to Fit Body at all. And to me, it also takes some of that. You know how you're kind of nervous going into a gym, and people are nervous like their first class or so, but it doesn't take long at all for you to feel comfortable and realize, hey, I can do this because we modify everything to you. We know our clients. We know, hey, this person has a shoulder injury before you even walk in. Most of the time, we'll already have some modifications made for you.
Yes.
So it's not like you're in the middle of class and say, oh, I can't do this. We try to have it set up for you already to where you don't feel like, oh, I'm not keeping up with so-and-so.
That's right. In every class they do at Fit Body, they actually show you two ways to do it. So they show you like, I guess the primary way, and then they'll say, hey, here's the modification. So if you're doing, push-ups and you can do those push-ups just regular, great. But let's say you have a shoulder, or let's say you're just not in that shape yet. Well, they show you another way of doing that push-up that's maybe 50% easier or something like that. And so they don't even single you out,
Right.
which is a good thing.
I mean, we don't want to make anybody feel bad. Why should you feel bad when you go to the gym?
That's
you're
right.
already doing better than most because you're at the gym. So why should you feel bad because you can't do something one way?
That's
You're
right.
doing something. That's all that matters.
That's right. Every exercise has a modification. You brought up a good point there. So don't hesitate to try that out. Now, what is your role at Fit Body?
I am one of the coaches, mostly in the evenings.
Yeah.
So that is my big role there.
Very good. Fit blends of Denham Springs can help you with everything from meal prep to supplements. I love it that they serve breakfast all day in addition to the best ultra healthy wraps you can really get anywhere in Livingston Parish. They are home of the $5 Smoothie Friday and are an amazing sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. Fit Blends Denham Springs, fast, fit food for you. Then what's your favorite part of working at Fit Body?
Oh my goodness. I love the environment because it's not, they have a bunch of gyms that have the class format now. But what I think makes ours special is because we call everybody like our fit family.
Yes, it is. It's a very family atmosphere.
Family. The first day, my first day at work, Lamar Powell, the owner, one of the owners, came up to me. He was like, I really want to help you with your Miss Veteran America stuff. He said, this month, we're going to push that. We're going to raise money for homeless women veterans. And the clients didn't really know me then. Lamar didn't know me then. But, I mean, they raised a couple $1,000 for me.
Wow.
Just in that month. Just them, doing the hashtags or, buying shirts and things like that. And it's such a warm environment, and you really feel like that is your family because you can say things are hard in your life and whatever, and they're going to be there for you no matter what. And that's something I don't think you get at, I can't even think of a gym that you get that at.
Yeah, no, you really don't. And look, I grew up in gyms and typical meathead move weights, that kind of thing, and the clanging and all of that. And you're in and out. I mean, you're not really talking to people. If you don't have a workout buddy, you go in there, you move your weights and you leave. That's a big difference between what you get at Fit Body Boot Camp, because it's like a family. Matter of fact, we say family in there a lot. And so I highly recommend people at least give it a shot. Try it out.
Just come for the free class. I guarantee you're going to
free
love
class.
it.
Cost you nothing.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you'll learn some exercises that you can, take home with you. But you're doing a great job there. My wife is much more dedicated than I am at this point.
I've noticed.
Yeah, she goes a lot and loves it. Absolutely loves it over there. But I do want to impress on the guys out there. Yeah. Guys are more than welcome. And look, you will be breathing heavy. I don't care what kind of shape you're in. It's going to work you out. Trust me.
We are getting
cardio is important.
More guys, when we have strength days,
yeah,
we have cardio days.
That's
and,
right.
Just because you're not lifting, like the 80-pound dumbbells or anything like that, it's a totally different thing. Because I used to go to the gym and just lift weights, but it's at my own pace. So I could take I can lift heavy and then take a minute break.
Right.
You don't get that. You don't get that at Fit Body. And I felt so out of shape going to work out at Fit Body after that. I was like, man, maybe I wasn't working out good. I don't know. I'm out of breath here.
Yeah, it's just a different workout that you can still move your weights if you want to, but a lot of guys that do that lack cardio. Mm-hmm. So that is a good option for them. And hey, they got heavy weights over there too. You can go over there and move them kettlebells. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna want to, but you can.
You can try.
Yeah, you can try. So what is the biggest challenge you see with ladies in particular in fitness that you kind of help them overcome?
I think biggest thing is confidence, and I know guys deal with it too. Just always talking down about yourself. There's so many times people come to the gym and then they leave and like, oh man, I'm weak. Or, I'm like, you're weak. You just did a 30-minute workout. What are you talking about? You know, they're just so very hard on themselves. And then, they also worry about, well, I don't want to get too bulky. I don't want to get it, certain things like that. So there's a lot on their mind that, they just need to come in and we will educate them. We will show them there's nothing to be scared about. You're not going to be walking out looking like the Hulk. I promise. They just need to come in, and I promise them we will make you comfortable. And I think that's a big thing. Just coming and feeling comfortable being there.
I think that's half the battle. Once they realize, hey, these people are like family and I am comfortable. I think that's half the battle right there, because that, to me, would be a big hesitation, even for guys. I mean, we don't like walking in uncomfortable situations where we don't know anybody. Y'all are masters of making people feel comfortable. I mean, you really are. So,
well, that's because we've all been there.
Yes,
so
exactly. Now, how long have you been involved in fitness? Like, are you someone that at 13 you were running marathons and all those sorts of things, or?
Definitely not. I did swim team in high school. I wasn't very good, but I did it. And then I didn't get into working out. Of course, I worked out a little bit before the Navy because I had to be a certain weight, you know. But I had gotten up to like 173, which may not sound a lot to some people, but it was enough weight to where I was starting to feel it in my knees. I was starting to feel it in my back, and I was like in my 20s. So, and on deployment, actually, I had went from working in the galley to doing computer work. I was doing the inventory stuff. They moved me up to that. And so I had a little bit more free time, the office job. I didn't have to cook dinner and stuff like that. So me and the other female CS, my CS1 cruise, she was like, come work out with me. So it was the end of deployment. We were running around the ship, doing laps and things like that. And that kind of kick-started it all for me.
Fantastic. And here you sit now, and you're a trainer to the stars. Just doing a great job. Now, what advice would you give to someone just starting out at Fit Body or in fitness in general? Someone that, there's a lot of people out there, I'm sure you experience this, have never worked out in their life or maybe very little.
Right. Well, first off, whenever it comes to starting your fitness journey, you don't need to wait for like a big aha moment. Like some people ask me like, what happened in your life that made you want to get healthy? Nothing. Like I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, I don't really like this. And I'm tired of whining about it. I'm tired of being like, oh, I hate the way I look. There's something I can do about it. So I need to quit with the whining and I need to go and do something about it.
Yeah.
And then start off simple. I was that person, of course, I was going to the gym on base, and that can be a totally different intimidation factor. So I would go in, blinders on the side, go straight to that treadmill, walk, and then walk straight out. Thankfully, I had some of my shipmates that noticed that I was at the gym all the time. And they were like, you want to lift with us? I was like, I've never lifted before. So my advice is, one, just start off simple. Go to the gym with a plan. If you go to Fit Body, you don't have to go with a plan.
That's right. They'll have one for
you. So get a little plan. They've got YouTube videos now that's so convenient. I used them. I would get a little YouTube video and I'll be like, I'm doing exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
And that's how I would start lifting. But just start simple. You don't have to start, all or nothing. I don't like that motto, that all or nothing with fitness. If you don't do anything and you start walking 2 times a week, guess what? Your fitness journey has started.
Yes.
So, just start.
Yeah. Great.
Just start.
Great advice. And, you hear people and they'll say, it might be, say, Christmas time. And they're like, oh, on January 1st, I'm going to go ahead and start exercising. And well, why are you waiting? Just do it. There doesn't have to be a significant date in mind.
Right. And you don't have to start with 5 days a week. Some people think that, oh, well, I can't commit 5-6 days a week. Well, can you commit 2?
Yeah.
Then do 2.
Yeah. And then once you really start doing it and you start seeing changes, that'll increase.
You're going to want to do more.
Yeah, that's right. So tell us, another thing that's a big problem is with older folks. And because for them, fitness is important, but even more than fitness, just moving is important. Hey, you get you get 60, 65, 70, but even a little bit younger than that, you can, if you don't move the muscles, you can have atrophy problems. You can, everything just deteriorates faster. BJ Pawn and Gun in Denham Springs wants to buy your unwanted gold jewelry, gold coins, and gold bullion. With 30 years of experience operating in the Livingston Parish area, BJ Pawn wants to be your source when selling your gold. So stop by BJ Pawn today for a no-obligation offer. BJ Pawn, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. So the great thing is Fit Body has a program just for people who are of those older ages, where it's not as, it's not the typical HIIT programs where it's very high impact and, it really gets that fat burning, I guess you could say. It's more for movement, and it's called Fit Body Forever. So kind of give us the elevator pitch on that and what that program is.
Well, I love that program. I love the clients. They are amazing. They are hilarious. They are troublemakers too. But I love it. It's 55 and plus. And I think whenever people are like, 55 and plus, I'm not old, I'm not going to do it. Probably just sitting on chairs doing exercise. It's not that. They do a lot of the stuff our boot campers do, just at a slower pace, maybe a little lighter weights. We actually yesterday put one of our Fit Body Forever exercises in our boot camp class.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
a little reversal going on there. So, and then it's 45 minutes. So, of course, they come early because they love to talk with us, and we love to talk to them. Yeah. And it's just really fun, and we have fun music, and they dance. In between sets, they're dancing and moving and stuff like that. But I do love it, the progress they've made in such a short time. And it hasn't been, we haven't had that program for that long. Their improvements are just absolutely phenomenal. What Coach Chase, he's the one that's the head of that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of their improvements are, their hard work, but it also kind of reflects Coach Chase's passion and his dedication to them. I mean, he gives all he can to them. And I think they feel that.
I agree.
And so it reflects in all their progress they've made.
Yeah, 100%. Just a beautiful program. And look, people of those older ages, they need to keep moving for obvious health reasons, but it could extend their life in a lot of cases.
And quality of life too.
Quality, yes, which is a huge thing. These people are looking forward to this all of a sudden. They want to
travel. I mean, you have to wait so long to travel till you retire. And then when you retire, it's like, oh, now your body's not going to let you?
Yeah.
Don't accept that.
That's right. That's right. I love it. So if you want more information about the Fit Body Forever program, I'm going to link it to the description of this video, and you can just click that link and it'll bring you to that website. I'm also going to link the Fit Body website to this for those maybe in a younger age bracket that are looking to just kind of like get moving again and all those sorts of things. So I want to read your why statement. I'd asked you, I ask every guest, why do you do what you do and have had the experiences you've had? And this is what you said. I wrote it down kind of verbatim. You said, I believe the world is still a good place. It is this thought that drives me. Media and social media are quick to share the bad, and it overshadows the good in people. I want to do my part to show the bad is not bigger or stronger. I want to be the person that lifts others up. I really can't say it any better than that, girl. That is a great goal. It's just a pure thing. And you're right. I mean, when all the negative in the world, people need to bring a little more positive to life. And you're doing a great job of that at a relatively young age. So great job there. Now, through all of this, you go to school.
Yes.
You're a full-time student in addition. So how do you juggle all of that?
Coffee.
Yeah. Yes. Lots of coffee.
Honestly, I have my planner. I write. I'm old school. I got my written planner. I don't use my phone planner because it's better for me to write it down and then I look at it. So there's a bunch of things, but it's just the people I have in my life that help me,
Yeah.
At FitBody, my coworkers, if I ever need to take off, like today, I took off for my FitBody Forever clients, and just stepped in. We have a group chat. You can always type, text them, I need this day off. And 2 minutes later, somebody's like, oh, I got you. Don't worry. You know? That's a big help. And then, my friends, my family, they're all there. When I have my breakdowns, they just kind of let me have it right there, and just keep me pushing on and remembering why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I love it. 100%. And we do want to let's shout out the other coaches at FitBody real quick, and like Coach Chase, we have Coach Annie.
And Grace. And Amanda, Diane, and Miranda.
Yeah. And they are spark plugs, every one of them.
Yeah, they all have their own thing that makes them stand out, and I think that's something else cool about our classes, because depending on who you have coaching, you have a different experience with all of them. So
100%. So love that FitBody family, and like I said, we'll link all of that to the description of this video so people can check it out. So March is Women's History Month, and so here at Local Leaders, the podcast, every March we try to honor 5 ladies and for their contributions. We covered all yours today, which are vast for your young age. I can't wait to see you at 60. Who knows? You'll be on the moon, or you done flew to the moon or something.
I don't like flying.
No moon for you. I hear you. But we do here at Local Leaders honor 5 ladies in March as Local Leaders Leading Ladies. So Miss Heather Dugas, on behalf of all of us at Local Leaders, the podcast, we would like to present you with this plaque in honor of all the contributions you make to this community every day.
Thank you so much. Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you.
This was a shock to me for sure.
Yeah, you deserve every bit of that. And I can't tell you how much we not only appreciate your service, but who you are.
Thank you so
That's
much.
a huge thing. I want to thank all the viewers and listeners to listening to Local Leaders, a podcast. Thank you for your likes, comments, and shares. Please continue to do so. The sponsors for your continued support. I cannot do any of this without all of these awesome sponsors. And if you want to sponsor, be featured on Local Leaders, a podcast, reach out to me at jim@localleadersthepodcast.com. Until next time, I'm Jim Chapman, reminding you, love your community, support local business, and keep leading. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Sandra Richard has been in the business of selling homes for over 20 years. This award-winning realtor brings the perfect blend of professionalism, integrity, and client satisfaction to every buying and selling transaction. A passion for both her clients and her community makes Sandra the perfect choice when buying or selling your home. So if you're in need, call the Cajun Lady, Sandra Richard, at 225-955-5484, or visit her on the web at sandrasellshouses.com. Sandra Richard, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast.